Now, when people travel, they usually travel safe, but sometimes just the weirdest things can happen. And I put a couple of books here. And the first book is called The Worst Case Scenario Survival Manual. Okay, that says everything. The second one is The Worst Case Survival Manual, Travel. Both are interesting. I don't want you to get paranoid, but I do want you to know how to get out of very weird situations that can happen occasionally. And if you're aware of them, in many cases, you won't even get in them because you are aware of them. That's the whole point of this video, is to keep you safe, get you back safe, and not have you go through any of those experiences. I really believe you need to take a first aid course before you go. Go down to the Red Cross. They have free first aid courses, and sign up for one and go through it. Now, if you are nervous about blood, work on how to get over that. I mean, yeah, I know there can be problems. I don't like needles. I know that. Band-Aids scare me. Okay, fine. But you might be in a situation where you have to do first aid on yourself or on somebody else, and it's really helpful and encouraging, and you feel confident. I know how to put a Band-Aid on. I know how to whatever they teach you in those courses. Now, I've had first aid courses numerous times in my life. I've taken 3 or 4 in America. I took one in Austria, all in German. They thought it was really unique. An American would be taking a first aid course in Austria in German. And I built friendships doing it. That was really cool. But I also learned vocabulary that I'd never had before. I would have never used that vocabulary. I would have never learned that vocabulary if I hadn't taken that course. It was very beneficial. No, I never had to help someone in an accident or anything like that. But I felt just more confident in a culture that I could actually help people. And other people kind of look up to you in that culture like, whoa, you know how to do that? Well, I'm a novice, but if nobody else is there, I'll do it. I'll do the best I can. Confidence is really important in this case. So take a first aid course before you go. And if you think about it and you know a little bit of first aid, if you can fix your own problem, you're better off than going to a doctor whose language you don't understand. I'm not saying a doctor's bad. I'm just saying communication's really, really important. When we were in Russia, I had a massive problem with my arm here. And a gentleman who gave me some advice was the Russian Olympic fencing coach. And he said, yeah, I've seen this in some of my men that have done fencing. And he said, you need to go back to the U.S. to get it fixed, because right now where you are in Russia, if you go into our hospitals, you'll get all the diseases and die. Okay? Because the doctors have to reuse the same needles because they don't have the money to buy new ones. Now, this is 20 years ago. Maybe lots of things have changed since then. I don't know. I'm just telling you what we were advised was the more you can take care of yourself physically, first aid in some way, shape, or form, the better off you are than going into a medical system where you don't understand the language, the protocol, the money, the insurance. Do what you can to learn how to take care of yourself physically. Take a first aid course. Now, my last point in general in crossing a culture, once you're there, is to blend in. That's really, really important. Blend into your surroundings. Don't stand out. Wear clothes that other people would wear. Eat in a way that other people eat. And take your cues from the locals. As I said, dress like them if that's allowed. Don't dress in a way that makes them think you're making fun of them. No, tell them you enjoy wearing their clothing like that. And if you are wealthy, don't appear wealthy. Don't flaunt it. Don't wear triple suits and lots of watches and diamonds on your eyeglasses. And don't draw attention to your wealth in another culture when you don't speak the language and don't understand that culture. And be careful of logos, American logos, for instance, on clothing that stand out and say, American, I'm rich, come rob me. Be careful with what you wear. We've covered 8 general principles. Now, just before we move into very specific things to do once you get there to keep yourself safe, we need to deal with some other special issues like your medical safety, driving safety, hotel safety. Then we'll move into the fourth video and give you very specifics that you will do when you're actually overseas in another culture. These principles and these specific things will greatly help recognize that you're taking care of yourself. And that can be a really big deal, especially over time. Okay? I'm still loving making these videos. I hope you're enjoying them. I'm still getting jealous that you're going to get to do things that my 71-year-old body isn't going to do anymore. So hang in there. See you in the next video.